house. Mic on, check. We're in here doing the poll game, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all know the deal. The poll game is what we played last week, and we're going to play it again this week. Sorry about that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and whip up this poll for you guys. The first one. Let's say, who works harder? Who works harder? All right, because I mean, this is actually a good question, really, if you think about it. Because I mean, I know the stereotype is Mexicans work harder, but you should think, well, are we talking about, you know, there's a few things we could talk about with that. I mean, Americans are known for working too much and not caring enough about family and stuff. So, like, it's funny though because like Americans are known for both being lazy and working too much, caring too much about their jobs. Sorry if that's messing you guys up right there. I had to get that right. I'm sorry. I should have fixed that before I started. Make sure you guys cast your votes. We're gonna keep moving quickly here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 polls that we're gonna run tonight, and we're gonna see who wins. Last week, Mexico took the win completely, 4 wins in a row, and that's all as far as we got. Four topics, and yeah, Mexico won every time. So let's go ahead and let me make sure the settings are set too, because I think I didn't set it to where there's a chat filter or something like that. I hate that. I hate that. All right, Amelia, go ahead. No. Drinking my Coca-Cola, my returnable Coca-Cola. Straight poison. No, we can't go swimming right now, buddy. Straight poison. It's so good though. Like the bottles here, you got to pay extra to buy your bottle, and then you have to return it, and you get your soda refilled. What's going on, Armando Lopez? The U.S. We got our first vote. Armando's gonna kick the night off. I did not expect that, especially from a guy named Armando Lopez. He says that America works harder. Armando, why do you say that, buddy? Um, the thing is like, I do think it's a good debate. I think it's a good, really a good thought, because really Americans do work hard because they work too much. All they care about is work and money. But also, Mexicans work very hard, and they're also known for working very hard. They're known for, working and taking people's jobs because they're so good at what they do. So it's a hard one because if you're going just on the country itself, does America work too hard as a whole? Probably. But if you're going on like just by person, I'd probably say the Mexicans work harder. So that's interesting. All right, we got 3 people in here, but we only got 2 votes. So make sure you're casting your vote here. It's really easy. It's really quick. You just cast your vote there, and you tell us, who do you think is working harder. Right now, we're doing Mexican polls versus the United States. It's a weekly thing that we do here on this live channel. Basically, we do a few polls asking people whether they think America or Mexico is better at something or worse at something. And then we tally up the votes near the end, decide who's going to be the winner of the night, or technically could be the loser of the night. Depends on what the topics are about. But I have about 7 topics. So this is our first topic here. Who works harder, guys? It's going up, it's going down, it's going up, it's going down, it's going both ways. Make sure you cast your votes. There's 12 people in here. Make sure you cast your vote. Even if you're going to skate, make sure you cast your vote before you leave. It helps out. So who works harder? Right now, it went from 100% United States and quickly shifted to 55% Mexico, which is very interesting. It was like a surge of Mexicans got on here and was like, wait a minute, you're not going to talk shit about Mexico. I will be honest, though, guys, on my channel, I don't know what it is, whether it's just the people that are coming in through my lives or whether it's the people that I attract with the channel, but I do notice that a lot of my polls are won by Mexico. So if you go to my community polls and you're one of those people that votes every day, I have a poll every day up. And usually I take the strongest polls and I bring them onto the live so we can discuss them. But yeah, normally Mexico wins everything, you know. So it's very interesting, a very interesting situation where Mexico constantly prevails over America, over the United States. So it's very interesting. Who works harder, guys? If you're tuning in, make sure you drop your vote right here. We're trying to get this solved. We usually switch questions when we get to about 20 votes, depending on how busy the live is. Today we'll probably go about 20 votes, and sometimes I do it till about like 15 minutes. You know, so. Uh, the thing is, though, I don't want to just have you guys vote on the poll. I'd like some conversations below in the comments with me, with other people. You know, explain to us why you think which country works harder. You know, what's your side of the story? Because this is something very interesting to me. Not only that, but it also helps me for my data for my YouTube to understand my followers more, and I can kind of build a better channel for you guys. So I'm curious to why a Mexican might think that they work harder, or why an American might think that they work harder. You know, these are the type of things that run through my head, and that's why these polls also, to me, are so interesting. Right now, America is back in the lead at 53%. Whoa, whoa, we went back down. I'm sorry. Mexico is back in the lead. We went back down. 22 votes now, guys. 55% say Mexico. Viva Mexico! Let's go. They're winning on the soccer field. They're winning on the polls. Everybody loves Mexico right now. It's a nice place to be. Let's see. Hola, ¿cómo te va? Work hard in what fashion? Is open-ended to give an informed answer. Yes, okay, so Diamond, um, working hard in what fashion is the question that she asked, or he asked, you know, what do you mean, okay? So ultimately, what's up, Sky? Good to see you again. Welcome back. Cage, what's going on? Diamond, essentially, when I say who works harder, I'm saying in general, who do you which country do you think works harder? I purposely left the question a little wide open for context because, like I was saying earlier in the chat, really you could say technically America works harder because they work too much, you know. But you could also technically say that Mexicans as a whole work harder because genuinely the stereotype is that Mexicans work harder. And I mean, I grew up around Mexicans my whole life. They definitely are hardworking individuals. So if it was me and I was casting a vote, I'd probably cast for Mexico. I mean, I would probably say that. But if we were talking specifically about the countries and what they do like wrong, I would probably say America works too hard, and not in like a productive way, just too many hours. They care too much about money, care too much about houses. So it's a little there to me. Like I said, it's debatable, and that's why I wanted to talk, you know, in these comments about this because I think that like everybody has a different perspective. Everybody has a different view on it. Mikey P says everybody works hard. You bleep bleep. Don't be a selfish and big-headed bleep bleep. Man, you told me straight up, Mike. I appreciate that. We don't censor people on this page. I always let people speak their mind. If you want to call me a big head, you want to call me a loser, that's what I'm here for. I'm your punching bag. Let's do it. Cage, Viva Mexico, and USA too. Yeah, man. Ultimately, what my channel always does, we debate on which country does what better, but ultimately, we always come together and realize that there is no right and wrong way. There is just a different way, you know. So different cultures, different ways. You know, ultimately, debating is just good times. You know, we don't want anybody to actually be upset leaving here on this live. Okay, guys. And that's why I said, Mike, if you want to talk shit to me, dude, I'm all for it, man. I totally don't mind. Whatever you got to do to get it out your system. We are a great nation, but there's others too. Yeah, Mexico is a great nation. There's a few others too. You know, I would say, you know, there's a few other great nations. Depending on what you call a great nation. Um, I wouldn't put United States in that ranking. With Diamond, if you're talking in terms of as a whole, to provide for their families on the day to day, then Mexico works harder for sure. Not many Americans in 2026 have the grit or the discipline to move to another country and work their asses off and grind to provide like they do here. Yeah, well said, Diamond. Well said. Honestly, Justin, I work from home in Phoenix, Arizona, and it's mentally draining sometimes. But I just drove by a house with these Mexican guys doing roof work, and it's 105 degrees outside. Those guys are working. Yeah, see, like that's like the difference, and it's funny because I would almost say that like we could throw like Japan in the mix, right? Or like China. And they would, if you had the three countries, you would say like, you know, if we're talking technologically, America's like in the middle. We work hard. Like I'm doing YouTube, you're doing stuff at work, you're mentally draining, working, right? But they're like, Mexico's working like really hard and doing tough work. And then above us, Japan, they're like working hard, but they're like even more less outside is hard work? Is it outside on a roof digging a hole, or is it like, yo, I just spent 20 hours in the office? And that's why this is a good question, in my opinion. That's why it's a good discussion. So if you guys want to touch on that, I really don't prefer to talk the entire time. I really prefer just to like let you guys talk for me. As far as like dropping comments, and I read your comments to the crowd, because I think that really this conversation is for everybody. It's not just about me. Um, but we'll go ahead and leave it right here because 30 votes is a pretty good vote here. Who works harder? 60% of people said Mexico. One last chance if you guys. Oh, that's what's up, Regina. Heck yeah, programmer on the computer. Good to see you tonight, by the way, Regina. I always appreciate your presence. Um, who works harder? Right now, if anybody wants to cast a vote to try to switch this up, but right now it looks like Mexico is going to take the first win of the night, just like they've been doing on the soccer field. Let's see, Mexico, one win, one win. Who works harder? Mexico, right? We got them in there for the win. All right. Well, let's go ahead and switch this poll up, okay? Replace the poll. What's the next poll going to be, guys? What do you think it's going to be? Let's see. Let's see. What can we talk about tonight? This is a hot question in the polls. I'm going to ask this, okay? All right. This is one that I've been getting a lot. I get this one all the time. And last night, actually, or the night before when we were live, we actually had people suggesting this one as we had people asking, hey, why don't you do this one? And I personally think it's a great question, but really the thing is like it's not just as easy as what people think. I think that people are going to easily answer, but I think it's debatable, and this is why I like this one as well. So, what do you guys think about this poll? Okay, which has the most unhealthy food, the United States or Mexico? All right, guys, cast your vote. Right? Okay, here's the thing for me. I wish I could vote. It doesn't let me vote. I thought I accidentally voted, and I was like, really? Here's the thing, guys, is like, when it comes to unhealthy food, this is where it's just like the other question. There's a lot of discussion to be thrown around. It's really not as easy as saying, oh yeah, Mexico is more unhealthy with food, or oh yeah, America is more unhealthy with food. Don't get me wrong, the world is well known. I even saw like an article recently, like this soccer country from Sweden, they won't even eat in America. The coaches say they're not allowed to. Like it's well known that America has bad food. It's just like school shootings. America is known for not many things that are good. It's mostly bad. So unhealthy food is one of those things that the United States is known for, especially now more than ever. But here's the thing. I tell people this all the time because I think it's really important to speak truth and not try to sugarcoat. Mexico is very unhealthy as well. Okay, so it's not. There's a lot of like talk of like, oh, but the fruit is so safe and the meat is so real and yada. And look, I post about that type of stuff too, right? But there's levels to it, right? So it's like I said, it's a deep conversation. I'm actually going to do a video on this in the future, right? So the thing is, why can't I get that smaller? There we go. The thing is when it comes to unhealthy food in the United States, it's processed food, it's everywhere, it's cheaper, it's easier to access. In general, the country as a whole is very unhealthy. Make sure that you're casting your votes, guys. There's 22 people up here. Which place is more unhealthy for food? The United States or Mexico? Who is more unhealthy when it comes to food? All right, guys. Now, like that's what I was gonna get into though as well. Is like ultimately, the United States has more access to bad food and it's cheaper. It's easier to get your hands onto. But ultimately, also in Mexico, there's lots and lots of bad, unhealthy food on the streets, all over the candy aisles, all over everywhere. Coca-Cola is drank more than water here. So it's really one of those things that, like, you can't just point the finger at the United States and say they're the worst place in the world. They definitely are. Somebody commented this the other day in my post, and I thought it was really smart. He said, the United States has cancer and heart disease, and Mexico has diabetes and something else, diabetes and something else. But yeah, and that's basically how it goes. Like Americans are dying from like serious shit. Like they're dying from like serious food problems. They're dying from cancer. They're dying from heart disease. Like big deal stuff that ingredients that are being added into the food are causing. Okay, and Mexico has safer food, but still has a culture that is accepting lots of candy, accepting lots of greasy food into their bodies. And yes, you don't have as much red 40 and corn syrup, but it is available and it's accessible, and it's also in the streets. There's a lot of street food that's really bad for you. So, like I would say, you're more likely to get a disease or die in America, but you're more likely to be fat and unhealthy in Mexico, if that makes sense. Like, I definitely have gotten fatter in Mexico, no question about it. I'm much fatter than I ever have been in my entire life. When I was working out, I was bigger. I weighed much more, but I was mostly muscle. I was like 220 pounds. Now I'm about like probably like 170 or something, but I'm definitely slop. And my body got worse and worse when I moved to Mexico. So I attribute that to the food. But I eat whatever I want. I eat everything. Hola, ¿cómo te va, Mr. Juan, Julian? Uh, yeah, so I eat whatever I want, right? But if I wanted to eat healthier in the United States and I wanted to eat healthy in Mexico, most definitely I could eat healthier in Mexico and for cheaper. And I'm the kind of guy that like I really need good healthy fruit. I need good healthy vegetables. I need good healthy meat, right? Good quality meat. Most definitely it's going to be cheaper and more accessible in Mexico than it ever would be in America. You get what I'm saying? So, like in fact, they don't have organics in Mexico. I probably need to do a video about that. Like they don't have organic departments in Mexico. They don't have organic branded food and all that type of shit here because the meat is organic. The food is organic. Like you're not getting any type of bullshit that you're getting in the United States. So you pay the same price for regular organic meat than you would for the cheap shit in America. Justin says America equals red 40, corn syrup, and bioengineered ingredients. The mini Starburst have been bioengineered ingredients, but I love those damn things. Man, I tell you what, me too, man. Our food and our environment are working against us. Yes, brother. That's a big reason why I left the United States, man. But I have seen Red 40 here in Mexico. I thought it was illegal here. I'll have to do a video on that, but it's not. They have Red 40 here, and they have other additives here that are really bad. I've seen in the ingredients, so it's not as what I thought. But like I said, it's cheaper here. It's more expensive to buy junk food. Like for instance, mini Starburst, they would cost more here than they would in the United States, right? Or even let's just say a piece of candy from Mexico, it costs more than it does in the United States. You get what I'm saying? No matter what it is, even if it's not imported, okay? But if you go pick up an avocado, it's going to be cheaper in Mexico. You pick up a banana, you pick up a watermelon, you pick up chicken. All that is going to be cheaper in Mexico. So, in my opinion, that's a beautiful thing. You know, it's a beautiful thing. You have to have self-control. That's what it comes down to. You know, if you can't control yourself, you're drinking Coca-Cola all the time out the 2 liter, and you're fucking just living it up, drinking Coca-Cola every day. Well, of course you're gonna fucking be a. Sorry, excuse my language. Of course you're gonna die early and have diabetes and yeah. I mean, who? First off, who would drink Coca-Cola straight out of a 2 liter? Anyways, I mean that's just unhealthy, man. Ridiculous. I would never partake in such gross, you know? So let's get your vote in. Which is the most unhealthy food right now? We're up to 20 votes, guys, and it looks like the United States has the most unhealthy food according to our chat here on the live. Now, Armando Lopez says, do not underestimate the empire. What do you mean by that, Armando? I don't know what that means. You got to help me, bro. Um, all I do is just like I research things, but I don't know things. You know, I just learn them. You know, that's what my channel is all about. I'm a dumb American that moved to Mexico that learns things, and then just like tells you what I'm learning as I'm learning it, pretty much. You know. So I always tell people I'm not like a super smart guy. I'm just a well researched guy, or I'm obsessed with analytics. I have ADHD. You know, like all that like ties together where it's just like perfect storm. All right, Justin. Justin says we are all cooked. Pun intended. That's funny. Excuse me. That's gross. Wow. Top fans. What's this? Whoa, Diamond is the top fan right now. That's what's up, dude. You go, Diamond. You go, Glen Coco. All right, guys, we're gonna keep this moving, okay? Because ultimately, this live is probably gonna go onto my channel, and people are just gonna be bored watching this shit. So, which is the most unhealthy food, guys? Which has the most unhealthy food, America or Mexico? We got 20 votes. There's 7 people up here. I know dang well a bunch of you guys didn't vote. Hey, oh, we better get a new vote in. There's 8, right? So go get your vote in right now. Vote yourself into the poll. Get active. Get wild. Get debating. There we go. 21 votes. Let's fucking go. Ooh-wee. Justin says maybe the wealth divide also plays a part. We're just trying to survive. With the cost of living and the money we have left, we can only buy the cheap, bad food if that makes sense. All right, guys. Well, you're right. You're right. You're definitely right. That is a huge part. That's why I like Mexico on the food part as well, because if you're broke, like for instance, right now, I'm very broke. If you're broke, like you can survive and go buy healthy food while you're trying to survive. Like you have to be like, ah, dang, I can't buy Doritos or any type of like bad food like ramen and hot dogs, but I can go get chicken and I can go get broccoli and I can go get avocados for really cheap. You know, so like that's what I'm surviving on right now, like healthy food. It's like great. Um, I'd never say your name right. Nigatis, Nigatis, Nigatis. I don't know if that's Spanish or that's just like Nigatis. Don't shave again, bro. Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie. I am about to shave because this stash needs to be like, oh, that's my guy Daniel, always throwing compliments. I know you, Daniel. By now, I remember you, bro. You're always throwing hearts, always saying nice things. Daniel doesn't mind that I shaved. Okay, guys, that's all that matters. Okay. Armando Lopez says, "How much dollars do you need to move to Mexico? One person." Well, that depends on like what you're talking about overall. Like, if we're just talking about legally, like just with the government, so if you're, let's just say, like, then you'd have to qualify for financial help, like a marriage or something like that. I don't know if anybody can hear me, but it looks like it was spacing out there. So you have to have like a marriage or something like that. There's multiple different directions, but let's just say you're coming in like a regular person would come in, like me. You have to have some sort of digital job, some sort of remote job. You have to earn at least $4,000 every month in USD, even while you live in Mexico. Okay, or you can have a large amount of savings in your savings account, and you can use that to prove that you have money, and they'll let you, once they see your bank account, they'll let you move to Mexico. And then once you move to Mexico, you pay a lot of fees. Like, just for me to have a legal residency here, for the first year, it only covers a year. It cost me about, I think it was like $1,500 altogether. It's really like $700 from the government, but there's like other things that are added on. It's really probably like $2,000 if you count it from the beginning to end, like for yourself. And then I had to pay 2,000 for my son, 2,000 for my wife. So that was like a lot of money. And then that doesn't include like all the other stuff, like the plane tickets, like all, like, dude, you just name it, bro. It's just like all type of stuff just falling on you. And then you're starting a new life, so then you got to have like all kinds of new things. We moved here with our suitcases. We moved here with one suitcase per person, one for my son, one for me, one for my wife, three suitcases. So uh, our life was just clothes, and not even all our clothes, just like what we could pack. So yeah, I mean, like, it's a real restart. So, but if you want the honest truth, I mean, I'm after paying, like, I moved down here with 600 US dollars. That's what we moved down here with. So we really like came down here, not like most people. Most people come down with a lot of money and have everything situated. We came down here with a lot of risk, and but I just kept telling people I'd rather be broke in Mexico than broke in the United States. Like, because broke in Mexico you can survive a lot better than you can survive in the United States being broke. So, like, basically, but we did it. And like our situation, yeah, like, you guys just said, F it, we're fleeing the country. Basically, Justin, it felt as if we were fleeing the country. Like, we felt, dude, I had it down to the minute when we were leaving. Like, and I was scared to be in the United States. Like, I didn't feel safe there. Not just because of Trump, but just because of the country as a whole. I didn't feel safe when Obama was a president. I didn't feel safe when Biden was a president. I didn't feel safe when none of those dumb people were presidents. The country is a bad place from the ground up. The foundation of the United States is a bad foundation. And I've had bad experiences since I was a young boy in the United States. So I personally I just think that, there's good and bad for everybody. Some people like certain things, some people like other things. I used to just come up here and talk mad shit about America, but now, honestly, I just want to say that there's just different perspectives. Life is different for everybody, and some people find other things more important than other people. So my choice is my choice. Other people live in the United States, and that's their choice. But don't ever expect me to want to go to the United States, or I mean, you couldn't pay me to visit the United States. Like, I've told my mom, my grandmother, everybody in my family, when you pass away, I'm not going to your funeral. I'm not going to your bedside or any of that type of stuff. If you're in the United States, I'm not going back there. I'm not flying back in there. None of that. None of that. You want to come see me, or you want to move down with me in Mexico, you can come die right here in my house. You can come live here with me. I'll take care of you, but I'm not going back to the United States for anybody, for anything. That's how serious I am about it. It's yeah, but it's different perspective. Like I said, I'm a different guy. I got face tattoos and stuff. Like my life is much different than your average person, I guess. So it's a lot of money, Armando. Um, a bag of almonds at Whole Foods, $58. What? That would be crazy, right? But let's switch topics. I talked way too long on this topic. Which was the most unhealthy foods? Which country had the most unhealthy foods? Was it the United States or was it Mexico? 35 votes says, first off, that's a new record for the votes. 35 votes says United States. Boom, boom. Okay. So like I always like get confused is like, how do I like sometimes I wonder like how do I pick a winner out of that? Does the United States win because they're the most unhealthy food? You know what I'm saying? They won the poll, but it was like, did they win? Like they kind of lost. So sometimes I wonder like, should I like how I should do that? I've been just giving the win to the person that gets the most votes. But at the same time, I don't think having the most unhealthy food is a win. But we're going to move on to the next question, guys. That poll is done. The next question is going to be, well, I'm not going to tell you. Like, let's see. Here we go. Here we go. This is a good one. This one I asked in my polls. Just easy, cut, and dry. It's never. I don't know if you guys break it up or not. For me, questions and all that stuff are never that easy for me. Justin, I appreciate you for subscribing, buddy. Have a nice night. I'll see you around. We're always live on Wednesday at 6 p.m. and or Wednesday at this time and really crazy question. But I'm the type of dude like I'll say that thing that nobody else will say. Like, oh, dude, your nose is huge. Oh my God, man. Nice to meet you. Oh my God. Like, and it's just like, that's hilarious, but it's probably only to me. But Mexicans are just like that. Like, they'll point out your flaws and they'll start saying it and laughing, and everybody's just like, fuck it. And then, like, there's just a lot of shit, sorry, excuse my language, a lot of banter back and forth, a lot of, and they do the same thing. I don't know why I guessed that maybe this wasn't a thing, but Mexicans do the gay thing too, where they like, where when you're around a bunch of guys, like I have a friend out here and he'll joke around and be like, that's my boyfriend, Brandon's my boy, like he's cute, right? Like that's the way we do in America too. And it's funny because in America, it's like, if you don't act gay every now and then, you're gay. Like that's how you can tell if a dude's gay. You're like, dude, this dude he never once smacked my ass or like chased me around with his, dingling or like nothing. Not one time. This dude's gotta be gay, dude. Like that's the way we used to be in high school, man. We'd be like, cause I played football. So like football, it's like, you're getting crazy, dude. And if you're really not gay, or even if you are, dude, honestly, who cares, man? My connection is getting really bad. I don't know why. Let's see if I can move it around. Maybe we can get a better connection. Very bad connection. It's like they probably cut me out. Like, yeah, dude, I'm not gay, but I like. Starts cutting out. Sausage. Mouth. Wieners. In them. All right. Very bad connection. Dude, but I kind of like this lighting. I'm thinking, like, should I utilize this lighting? Guys, is anybody there? Just message me. DM me. I'm just kidding. Drop a comment. Let me know that you're alive. The comments. We're voting. Roll call. All right, dude. This lighting is crazy. I kind of like it. I'm in Mexico, and I'm on live. Okay, whatever, dude. All right, so I guess I'm going to have to go outside for a quick second to get this connection back because I've never even seen that. I've never even seen it just be like, very bad connection. Very bad connection. Your connection is horrible. Your followers are leaving now. Everybody is gone, gone, gone. Okay, dude, it's just not. I don't know what's happening. It still says very bad connection, but I have 5 bars. And now I don't see anybody. Well, I see 4 people now. Maybe they're back. Maybe they're not. Oh, man. This would be messed up if all you guys been watching this whole time and it was just like, dude, of course it's working, man. We just didn't drop any comments. All right, very bad connection still. Well, I don't know what to do. At this point, I might just have to take it, dude. Just take it where it's at. Wow, pool looks so still, man. Look at that thing. Look at that thing right there, man. Kid done thrown toys in it and all that, man. It looks clean in the day, and then at night you're like, oh, I can see all the algae there. We just got it cleaned like 2 days ago. Crazy. What's going on, guys? I'm gonna have to like get off of here, dude, because it just seems like the connection is horrible. La conexión es horrible. That's not Spanish. Well, try to do my part. Try to do what I could. We did some polls. The polls are still going. It can't be that bad, dude. The connection's got to be there, right? Okay, there they go. Make sure you guys are voting. Okay, I don't know what they're telling. None of y'all commented that whole. Oh, wow. I didn't see the comments until just now. All I had to do was scroll down. Thank you, Sagaism. The connection is crap. Damn it, man. People log into a bad connection and go, I'm not coming back to that guy's channel. You know? That's what I would do. I'd be like, the last time I was on that fool's channel, the guy couldn't even afford a good connection. What makes this guy think that I want to watch his freaking YouTube channel? You know? That's what I would think. But, yeah, it says very bad connection, but it's too late. It translates your comment automatically. That's why it says the connection is crap, but it translated automatically. Let's get back to it, guys. Which has a better sense of humor? Is it the United States or is it Mexico, guys? Right now, most of the votes are all going to Mexico being the funniest country between Mexico and the United States. Who has the best sense of humor? And if you have any reasons why, feel free to drop them in the comments. Let us know. Like, is it, my grandpa's Mexican, he's the funniest guy I know? Is it, man, I used to work with this guy, his name was Hector, he was the funniest dude I ever worked with? Or I worked with this guy named Billy Bob Thornton, and he was the funniest dude I ever met. Like, let me know. You guys logging in, make sure you vote here in the poll. Which has a better sense of humor? Is it Mexico right now winning? Obviously, they're funnier than us. Or is it the United States? That's the question. Question at hand today. Who is the funniest country? Is it Mexico or the United States? Come on now, brother. But yeah, where are you guys from, man? Make sure you're staying active in the comments. If not, what's the even point in being on live, just to watch a guy sit on the couch, dude? You guys gotta say something to me, man. That way it's like we got some back and forth going on. Because, the reason why I log into these lives, live's not really necessary for YouTube, The reason I log in, because I want to connect with people. I want to talk with the people that are on my channel. I want to get to know the people on the other side of the videos, so I can understand how to make better content for you guys, or maybe answer questions that maybe you guys have always thought about, or shoot, not even talk about the YouTube channel. Just get to know you, what city you're from, what state you're from. There's quite a few people that like I just naturally have done that with up here that like I would consider my friends. It's pretty cool. It reminds me of like the era in my life when I had Xbox, like when I was playing a lot of Xbox and I was on Xbox Live. When the Xbox Live like really was popping, back when we were playing Halo and all that stuff. I was born in '91, so I had a good gaming life. Um, I had the best era, I think, of games growing up. Zelda, Nintendo 64. Then we led to all the other great games as it comes to PlayStation, PlayStation 2, of course, Xbox One, and all those type of things. Xbox X, and now video games are just trash. But but yeah, guys. You know, that's what this feels like to me though. It's like being on Xbox Live. You might not know the people on the other side, but you log in, you see these people every day, you talk to them long enough, you learn little tidbits about their life, and next thing you know, you're like excited to see them popping up. And there's a few people like that. There's a few people like that on my channel. Eduardo, Regina, she's always here hanging out. Shoot, man. It's like when they pop up, Negatus, always up here. There's a few that I like see all the time. I'd say probably like 8 people, like a circle of 8 people that I'm like, you, we are connected. I like that, man. I like that. I wish that like YouTube had more of an option for um DM. I wish there was direct messages. I wish people could message me on uh on YouTube. That's one thing I wish. Oh, Daniel, when you gave me a gift, that was like some gems too. I didn't realize that. So that was like some money that you sent me. Thank you. I appreciate that. I see I'm kind of new to that, so I don't really know, you know. I didn't know how that worked. Um, I seen the little gems up there and was like, "Oh, cool." L L Drum Doctor, Americans crazy and fun. Ah, that's funny. How many Americans do you know, L Drum? And where do you know them from? Do you meet them in Mexico? Did you meet them in the United States? Where did you meet them from? At the doctor's office when you're chopping their legs off? That's the kind of like that's what I'm thinking when I said your name. Like this dude, he's a doctor, a drum doctor. Which has better sense of humor, guys? We only got 9 votes on this. It's crazy. We got 35 the first one. The second one was like, or the second one, the first one was like 25, and now this one we got 9 votes. So we just not liking this question, or was it because my connection was trash and everybody hated that? L Drum said lived 15 years in the United States. Okay, luckily you got out, man. Good for you, bro. Glad you made it. Glad you got out of there, dude. Too much capitalism for my taste, but the grass definitely greener. Most definitely, my friend. Are you an American, or are you born in the United States, or originally Mexicano? I don't. Yeah, I mean, Mexico is capitalist, but it's not the same capitalism as America. Like, there's a little bit of a difference. American father, Mexicana madre. Ah, sí, tú hablas español. Mi español es un poquito más o menos bueno, pero es como niño, como azul playera. Like it's like malo, es malo. Pero mi encanto español es muy bueno, es muy divertido, es poco a poco. Um, I'm in Merida, Mexico right now. I live in Merida, Mexico, which is in Merida, which is in the Yucatan. It's over down in the southern part of Mexico. Blessings and love, mi amigo. Ah, sí, gracias. Um, yeah, man. So we're down here in the southern part, in the heat, in the hot area. Um, it's pretty cool, man. I like it. I like the heat. You know, it's tough, but as long as you can get some AC every now and then, and you get yourself a pool, things are pretty cool here. Um, so, yeah, I guess this question is just a bomb question, dude. It's just a bad question. Um, but we'll go ahead and give this one to Mexico. Mexico having the best sense of humor. And I think we only have time for one more question, and this will either tie it up or I'm going to start a new poll here, guys. This one's either going to tie up the polls for good, and we might have to continue on a tiebreaker, or Mexico might just win again this week. Let's see. Let's see. What do you guys think? Um, uh, which or I always spell that. Fuck, dude. Why do I always spell that wrong? Country better. All right, guys. Here you go. You ready? Here we go. Is it gonna be Mexico or is it gonna be the United States? That's the question. Let's start it up. All right, guys. Last poll was Mexico. All right. This poll is the United States. Or this poll could be the United States. I'm sorry. There we go. Which country has better food, y'all? United States or Mexico? Which country would you say has better food? Uh, man. Does anybody up here do YouTube? Anybody have their own channel? I'd be curious about that too. I always like making friends with YouTubers. I'm a super YouTube nerd, dude. Super nerd when it comes to YouTube. Um, I just spend all day just studying this thing, man. I need to, I need to make my lives a little bit more entertaining. I'm thinking about like a whiteboard, like a big whiteboard that I'm like in front of, and I'm like writing on, almost like a teacher or like a scientist or something. I don't know. Easy science. It's the large chips. All right, the large chips. Which country has better food? We got 4 people up there right now watching me, and only one vote. What's going on, guys? The 3 of you guys that are being lazy, what's going on? You better put your vote in right now. Put it in for Mexico or put it in for United States or put it in for the United States or put it in for Mexico. Just put one of them in there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter, but you should be honest. Which country has better food? You like tacos or you like hamburgers? You know, pretty simple question. You like McDonald's or do you like menudo? You know, are you that type of guy? Because I mean, honestly, like some people do like McDonald's. I like McDonald's. Like I think like some days McDonald's is like hits the spot. You know, like there's plenty of days that I'll take McDonald's over real food. Not all the time, but there's some days where I'm like, you know what? And honestly, like if it wasn't a health problem, I probably would eat McDonald's every day. Like if McDonald's didn't cause health problems and we were just going off taste, I mean, honestly, I like fast food. I've always liked it. I like a lot of like McDonald's, Jack in the Box, Chick-fil-A, what's the other one? Taco Bell. I don't really like Wendy's though. If you like Wendy's, just get off my live right now. Don't be up here liking Wendy's. Because if you think Wendy's is good, then you don't know good food. You know? If you don't like McDonald's, well then beep you. Alright? If you don't chew boot if you don't chew Big Red, well then beep. No, just kidding. Um yeah. Dang, this is the way I should have my live the entire time. Why did I not do this from the beginning? This is such a better setup. I put it right in between my legs. That's it. Normally I have it in front of my feet. Then I just grabbed it and pulled it closer, just jammed it right in between my legs right here, and then it just, you know, I put the stick right here, the selfie stick, and then I just twisted it a little bit, put it downwards right over here in front of my face. Ah, man. That'd be crazy if I actually did that on accident. But I really did grab a stick right here that's right below my phone's attached to. And I just pulled it in. Now you guys are real close. Which country has better food, guys? Only one of you guys got something to say about that? If you have any questions for me, feel free to pop off. Feel free to ask. If you want to know what's my third cousin's last name, ask me. You want to know why I did what I did to my ex-wife, ask. I'll tell you. I'll tell you where she's buried. If you want to know where I hid the bodies, just ask. No, I'm just kidding. Mexico's great. Love it. Love the people. Merida's really good. It's very, very hot. Um, working really hard on YouTube. We're trying to be a better and better channel. Gonna get some lighting, fix it, like get some good lighting. You know, like this is lighting that's like just, this is just regular lighting that you get from the ceiling. Apparently it does shadows and stuff like that in the eyes, and just even the shadow by there just kind of looks trashy, regular. I'm trying to have some nice, like, welcome to the channel. Like, I want to look like, I want to have like that mic you pull up, like, hey, welcome to the channel, guys. You know, table. Today, we're going to talk today about U.S. and America, okay? You know, that's how I want to, that's how I have a stick, point at stuff on the wall, America, or Mexico, you know, whatever. I don't know. I got plans, guys. I got plans. They're coming together slowly but surely, okay? And I'm working on getting monetized. That's another big thing, dude. I'm at 3,600 watch time hours. I need 4,000 total. I'm sorry. So 3,600, 700, 800, 900, 400 watch time hours, okay? And I can get monetized. 400 watch time hours, and I'll be able to get paid for creating YouTube content. Very interesting. Never thought I'd be here. Interesting. Some people spend their whole life trying to get monetized. Some people spend years. I've achieved it in about 6 months, half a year. So that's very exciting. I thought it was going to come faster, to be honest. But when I ask YouTube where I fall, it says that I'm in the top 1% of creators. Like, I post daily, which only the top 1% of creators do that. And basically, I'm headed to be like one of the biggest people in this niche from what my statistics show. So that's exciting. Like, you know, that like most people that come to Mexico to live here from America will probably see my face before they move here. Like, that's really exciting. Um, Unfathomable to think about, to be honest, because it could get to a level where it's like I'm like the face, the guy. You move to Mexico, you want to watch content about Mexico, you might watch my channel. But I don't do what a lot of people do. That's the thing that I think that's good about my channel, that's going to separate me from everybody else. You know, when we do long form content, my long form and my short form are two different places for my channel. You know, like I don't really connect them very much. You have my short form content where I'm just kind of excited, quick, ADHD, like you get to see and then I'm out. And then long form is more about like discovery, identity, and really like getting to know myself along with hopefully helping you guys get to know yourself. while I'm getting to know Mexico. And I kind of like to think of my long forms lately kind of like Adam Ruins Everything mixed, like the Adam Ruins Everything show mixed with the Y Files, like kind of together. There's really not many people that are in the expat or American living in Mexico niche that really do what I do. Most people are what's called a vlogger, VLOG, vlogger, where they like, show videos of them on the beach, show videos of what their family are doing, their life is doing. There's some people that do like relocation services where they're like charging people to like help them move here, stuff like that. Some people don't charge. Some people just offer free information. Um, there's people like that, which is not me either. There's people that do house tours, pretty much just showing people houses in Mexico. All those things to me, there's a people. I'd say one of the biggest ones is people doing food in Mexico. Not just in Mexico but worldwide. There's a lot of people that just go buy food and taste it. I'd say I do drop a few videos like that, but I usually don't try to make my long forms based on that. I tried it in the beginning, did not get good feedback, and started falling into the more of the educational content, shocking identity, culture shock content, and it just started paying off. The views started taking off, CTR started going up, retention was going up. So the numbers show that's what people wanted to see. So if you're watching my channel, you're gonna get a side of Mexico that's honestly really rare, um, in many different ways. One, because I don't sugarcoat a lot of things. Like I talk about very controversial things, gentrification. We talk about xenophobia. We talk about racism from in Mexico. We talk about touchy subjects, using the word America. Like I like to dig. We talk about the Mexican wage and what it's like to be a Mexican. Like I dig into these subjects that I think most Americans are like scared to, like piss anybody off. They don't want to like offend anybody. I don't really mind. I'll offend everybody. So if you like being offended, you're in the right place because I like to push buttons. There is no too far for me. I'll talk about everything. And so you're gonna get some good content from me. If you're interested in stuff like that, that's what I have. Hi, Bubba. That's what I got situated. You're not gonna see a bunch of like, here's this place, look at this food, look at my family, look at this house. And no, we don't do a lot of that. We do mostly just, you know, do you want to know the real reason why this is this way in Mexico? I can tell you why because I went and looked it up and I learned. And this is what I think about it. And honestly, I think it also isn't weird. I think it just seemed weird at first. And then once I studied it more, I learned that it's just different. It's not familiar from what I'm used to. So, because I find myself in these situations, and I think a lot of Americans do, or really people traveling all around the world, um, from different countries. You see something, you go, well, that's weird, that's strange, that's not right, and then you wonder like why, and then you wonder like why are they doing that? And then when you figure it out, you start understanding. Like some people might think throwing toilet paper in the trash is weird or it's wrong, but in Mexico, that's just the way life is. And so when you learn the reason why they do that, and then you learn the reason, um, that it just fits better here for these people, then you understand. Okay, like there's different solutions for different countries. It's not a problem. They just choose to handle things differently here, and that's something you have to learn. Bye bye. You have to learn when you're dealing with people. And humans need that lesson in general right now, that you can't just. America is not the only way. There's not just one way there's not just one direction. There's not just one answer. There's not one solution. There's multiple ways to wipe your ass. For example, Americans like to use toilet paper, which is probably one of the most primitive ways to wipe your behind. A lot of Mexicans like to use baby wipes, also Americans. To me, like wiping with toilet paper is like the lowest of the low. Like you're like primitive, and then you're like wiping with good toilet paper. Now you're like, well, I use toilet paper, but I use like high quality, which we use high quality here for sure. Toilet paper and the bed is something you always pay a lot of money for. Then you get the baby wipes people, which is us too. Baby wipes people. Now that's a step up. Now you're really cleaning. You're getting some real cleanliness going on there, huh? And then you got the French people, the bidet, the Asians. Everybody using a bidet. Shout out to those people because we use a bidet as well. We haven't installed one yet here in our Mexican house, but we're gonna order one this coming up July. We had a bidet for years in the United States. There's no better way to wipe your tail than to use a bidet. A lot of my friends were like, "What, dude? That's crazy." And I'd be like, "Dude, it seems weird at first. If you make it weird, it's weird. But if you start thinking, like, once you use a bidet and you start thinking about everybody else, you're like, yo, y'all are nasty. Like, how do you live like that? You know what I mean? Because let's be real, toilet paper does not do the trick. Bidet is like, you just took a shower specifically for your tail. And then, even then, for me, just leaving it like that is not okay. You have to grab some toilet paper, which for me, it goes like this: bidet, then it goes baby wipe. Now I got a close up wipe. Now we got nice, cleanly wipe, but we still got that wetness going on, right? The tail's wet, it needs to be dried off. So then on the third pull, I pull the toilet paper, the regular paper, to dry it up. By then it's clean. It just needs to be dried because I don't want to walk around with swamp booty. So then throw that in the trash can, and I've only used a little bit of water, one wipe, one toilet paper roll, paste. The other way around, people are using multiple times. They're using toilet paper multiple times. You're just really genuinely not getting it fully clean. So, but it's once again, it's just like Mexico. If you haven't lived it, if you haven't seen it, if you haven't experienced it, then you'll never really know. You'll never understand. It's going to sound foreign and weird to you until you've actually been like, okay, now it makes sense. And then once you get on that other side of the fence, then you're looking at the other side of the fence like, what's wrong with these people, you know? Even when I lived in the United States, once I used a bidet, I was always looking at other people like, how do you not use a bidet? Like, it's just crazy. So that's my bidet story. That's my invasive story. I told you guys I'll talk about anything. But that's a subject in its own. Really doesn't have much to do with Mexico, but it's a human subject. But listen, guys, get your votes in here. This is the last poll we're going to do of the night, and we're going to go ahead and wind it down, okay? We've been up here for over an hour. Which country has better food? Right now, it looks like Mexico is going to take it. And with that, guys, that'll be Mexico's third win. United States got one win. Mexico got 3 tonight. So for the second live in a row, Mexico takes the win. All right, guys. So we'll go ahead next time. We'll do another game, another poll game. I'll come up here with probably 4 more questions. It looks like we're only able to get about 4 questions a night done within the hour. So that's cool. We'll get 4 questions done for now per hour and figure out who's gonna win the battle every night. And so far, Mexico is just trashing the United States on the polls, on the live. Like, I can't get America a win, dude, to save my life. Makes me wonder why anybody lives there. If you looked at my YouTube, you would wonder why. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Thanks for the support. I'm out, man. I'm out. If you guys are watching from the YouTube old footage, it's about 7 p.m. over here in Merida, Mexico. It's I think it's a Saturday night. Is it Saturday night? Wow, that's crazy because I figured we'd be more active than this. Interesting. On a Saturday. Okay. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you. Oh, tomorrow, Sunday. Stay tuned. Tomorrow around 5 p.m., I'm dropping a long form video. It's going to be an interesting long form video. You're going to want to see this. My editing skills are getting better and better. That's another exciting thing to watch. I'm trying to make it more entertaining for you guys. More sound effects, more pictures, more effects. We're going to make it great, okay? Working every day to get better. Appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good night, all right?